We are live. We are live. Clearing my throat on the air. That was kind of not professional, but I had to do it when I said we are live. It just didn't sound right. But shout out to everybody in the building. Y'all know the deal. Y'all know what to do. Make sure you hit the like button, whether you're catching it live or you're catching this thing after it's uploaded. Whether you're catching this thing live or you're catching it after it's uploaded, make sure you hit that like button. We're about to be getting into this interesting development with the whole Andrew Tate thing. Remember the video from Vice? Remember the video from Vice where the girl went on there and she was crying about all this different stuff. She was held hostage. She was the whole works, and some things have leaked. Exposing that it was all pretty much staged. Plotted, planned, strategized, and they kind of getting outed on that. So we want to be getting into that. Going to be breaking that down. We're going to be breaking down the whole Michael Irvin situation where he kind of got booted. I don't think if he full blown lost his job, but he definitely couldn't do this. He lost the job of doing the Super Bowl just off the word of one woman, basically just saying that, hey, he did thus and so to me. He did this 40-second conversation. And he apparently did something awful to her in those 40 seconds. Now, you can get a lot done going mode one hardcore, but not nothing that should get you fired. I don't think so. But it leaked out that people who were witnesses saying that no, nothing happened there. And then the Andrew Tate thing is leaking out. The messages that they were putting on a whole act. They said they should be winning an Oscar. Like I'm gonna read the text messages. I'm gonna read the text messages on that. So we're gonna be getting into a number of things. Shout out to Mike and Vince Perkins down in the building. But let me get ready to roll the intro. Let's get ready to go. Let's get.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
What's going on? What's up, everybody? Welcome back in here at another one. I know there was some confusion because I had PM. I had 10:45 PM instead of AM. So there was a bit of confusion, but no, typically I'll be going on an AM when I go on into that PM, maybe expect maybe at 8 o'clock start time when I start doing night shows. I might do a 2 a day today. So we'll see how that goes. But the first initial comment that I got to respond to. Well, first off, shout out to everybody in the building. LB Crypto in the building says, let's go. Hit the like button and drop something on the super chat. Absolutely. Just being Jazzy Crafty, just being Jazzy's podcast Crafty Ideas and Chill Spot. Shout out to you. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Black Zillennial in the building says, "Uh-oh, another woman lying." Yeah, I mean, it's just like at this point, it's like it's par for the cause. At this point, it's like we're not even talking about, the concept of, believe all women. It's like we've gotten to the point where this expectation. We've gotten to the point where the expectation should damn near be that they're lying. We've gotten to that point. We've legit got to that point. But shout out to Mike and Vince Perkins. Hit the like button again. But the comment that I definitely wanted to get into, and we'll definitely start right here with this one. We'll definitely start right here with this one. We got Pablo in the building says, yes, then there was Austin Hollerman. The attacks are ramping up because men are rising up against the modern feminist ideals. There's a lot of different things that could be said about why, this male space was created. That's, in my assessment, that's really one of the big ones. That's really one of the big ones. It's just the feminist ideals and the conditioning. The feminist ideals and the conditioning. And I haven't even spoke on that yet. I may do a whole show just breaking down that photo of freaking ASAP Rocky on the beach with Rihanna looking like I ain't about to get into that. But the feminist ideals, I gotta save my commentary for that one. I got some commentary on that one that I gotta save. But those feminist ideals is part of what essentially makes men do something like that. Something that just looks real weak and real feminine. It gets men not moving how men should move. In this space, for better or worse, it do make men operate from a more masculine mindset. From a more masculine mindset. And they don't like that, but they could deal with it if it's just a bunch of small channels just banging pots and pans and howling at the moon. But when people start getting big, you can see them ramping up, trying to do something about it. You can see them ramping things up, trying to do something about it. And so when I look at this space, like what is this space created for? I mean, one, okay, it gives a voice for men. Definitely gives a voice for men. But a lot of it was, speaking to our concerns, issues, thoughts, views, and perspectives when it came to women, avoiding the pitfalls and the potholes and all the stops, all the ways that men get caught up, trusting women, investing too much in women, overvaluing women, thinking that putting women on the pedestal, not understanding their value and their worth and all of that. That's an aspect of it. Not understanding who you are as a man, and then you're out here, you're operating from a weak mindset, from a weak standpoint. You're out here moving goofy and doing silly stuff, and you're getting caught up, and those things happen. And a lot of men came to this space. A lot of men came on the internet and voiced their concern and gave their ideas and pushed back against all the counter narratives to everything that's been said about men. And those counter narratives is basically made men out to be the reigning villain in every story. Men are the reigning villain in every story where women are involved. And that being when that's the case, when society accepts that and when society believes that, it makes it easy for a woman to just lie on Michael Irvin and people just believe it. It makes it easy for someone to just lie on Andrew Tate and everybody just believe it. It makes all that easy. It makes it too easy. So men speaking up, and that just speaks to the comment that Pablo made, men speaking up against that system, debugging and deprogramming men, waking men up to the reality of like what it actually is, what's actually going on, what's actually happening out there, and how you actually should be moving. They're shaken by that. And they'll do anything to try to stop the bum rush, apparently. They'll do anything to try to stop the bum rush, apparently. So he says, yes, the attacks are ramping up because men are rising up against the modern feminist ideals. Absolutely, 100% on that. Absolutely 100% on that. But I gotta circle back to cover something that, and just in case y'all missed this, because I've been late to the party on this one. I legit been late to the party on this one, but I do got to play with this one before we dig all the way into. That look weird. That look like something that's going to mess up your eyes. I do got to dive into this before I even get going all the way with the main topic, with the main course. This is something, if you didn't see this, you have to see it, because this is audio of a witness. I'm just now seeing this today. This might be but go with me on. I mean, it's been out for a few days. But I'm just now seeing this. This is why Michael Irvin got dropped from broadcasting on the Super Bowl. A woman essentially said that she had an interaction, a 40-second interaction with Michael Irvin, and he did something. Yeah, I know I'm late, but I just gotta get it out there in the universe. She's saying in 40 seconds he did something egregious to her that was in the realm of some sexual assault of some sort in a public setting. And now witnesses who was like right there, who witnessed the whole interaction, are speaking on it. So let's roll that real quick before we get into the main thing.
Question kind of happened?
Yeah, 100%. So we just came back in from the lobby after work meeting.
Wait a minute. Why is that?
We had
here we go.
Positive interaction with Michael.
I don't know why that was skewed up like that. Damn, TMZ.
Were you right there when the interaction?
Yeah, 100%. Sure.
Yeah.
So I was there with a few.
Like exactly what happened?
It was a bit of a work meeting. So I was there with.
That is weird. It's like TMZ. It's like they doing something where they making the video all screwy. All right, just listen. It clears up after a second. So just listen, and then it's going to clear up.
Yeah, 100%.
You right there when the interaction, like that's kind of been questioned, kind of happened?
Yeah, 100%. So we just came back in from the lobby after taking like a group picture. So I was there with a few of my friends. It was a bit of a work meeting. We had a really positive interaction with Michael. Group photos. I then got a one-on-one photo with Michael, which was great. I was at the back of the group as we re-entered the lobby. So I saw Michael. He was heading towards the lifts, and he gets called back by a young lady just to say hello. And
did you hear like exactly what happened?
Or
what was said?
It was a very it was a positive, friendly conversation.
Yeah.
They had a brief interaction.
This is a chick that accused him, called him back just to say hello. That was what happened. He's saying it was a positive interaction, brief interaction. Just in case y'all not following what was going, I'm still thrown off by that real screwed up imagery.
And it was 30-40 seconds. He kept his distance at all time. Stood about a meter away from her. They ended it with a handshake, and he literally turned around and went back to the lift.
What was anything like inappropriate said, or like
No, not at all. Not at all. There was a little bit of laughter. Obviously jovial conversation. Nothing untoward for me to actually take notice of what was going on.
So there's not even like, did she react in any? There's no way that she reacted uncomfortably at all.
No, not in my opinion. Like, she turned around, like after the conversation, she went back into the bar area or around the bar area, and everyone continued their evening. It was nothing that I witnessed that was untoward whatsoever.
Well, what happened? You were there. Yeah, so I was at the bar, and I was there with two buddies of mine. We were having like a business dinner, and we looked across the bar and saw there was Michael Irvin, which was really cool because I grew up watching football. I'm from Philadelphia, and we offered to buy him a drink. So I told the waitress, I said, "Hey, can you buy Michael a drink for us?" Michael declined the drink, but came over and said, "Thank you. I have work early tomorrow morning. I can't tonight." All that kind of stuff. And
Hey, that's a real, gracious, humble celebrity. If he's out somewhere, people offering to buy him a drink, he's declining the drink, but he don't want to be rude, so he come over to their table and talk to them. Like that is that that's being a man of the people. I don't want y'all to think that I denied the drink because I'm above y'all and I don't need drinks from you little peasants. Because it could come off like that. It legitimately could come off like that, but he went over there and talked to him like, I used to throw him back in the day. That's how that's like how Michael. look him up. Look him up if you want to know. Michael Irvin used to get down. He's a Christian man nowadays. So I mean, it come off as like some real nice guy, like a real nice guy thing to do. Real decent human being thing to do.
He could see, I had my phone open for a picture. So he said, "Do you want to take a picture?" I said, "Absolutely." He said, "Let's step outside. I can't take a picture inside the building," or whatever it was. Yeah. So we took a bunch of pictures outside, a little after 11 o'clock, I guess it was. And when we walked in, we walked back to go into the bar. He went straight to go to his hotel room. And I guess somebody that worked there, I don't know if it was a waitress or bartender, came up and said, "Hey, Michael Irvin." And
hey, send me that interview. Somebody send me that interview. Particularly if it's brief.
He said, "Oh, it's nice to meet you. I'm Michael," shook her hand. And the crazy part is it was like a 30-second interaction. Maybe it could have been a minute, because I didn't really think much of it because it was just fan kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I woke up, that ended. He went up to his hotel. I woke up, I guess, this morning and saw this thing that said, Michael Irvin, like sexual assault. And I was like, God, I just took a picture with that guy. I can't believe it. And then I read it. And it was from the night that I was there, and I was like, "This is baffling," because I saw it and I never witnessed something like that happen before.
So what you said?
It's funny listening to them. Because it's like they're sitting there going through the process like I was there. I was right there. I was practically in arm's reach of both of the people involved, of Michael Irvin and the chick. I saw it. Nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. It was a friendly exchange for 40 seconds. The initial argument was this. Because people was talking about, okay, what could have possibly been done in 40 seconds? Well, we RIP to the late great Alan Roger Curry. You can go mold one hardcore and say a lot in 40 seconds. That was my initial thought. That Michael Irvin just cut to the chase on her. 40-second conversation, and he just put it on the table. That's honestly what I thought happened. But the witnesses who was there, who said it was just friendly, pleasant, cordial 40-second conversation. In a 40-second conversation with a celebrity, that's like, "Hi, I'm a big fan. Watch you on TV. Oh, such and such," and they make a little small joke. I mean, 40 seconds goes by real fast. So I'm thinking, if they're not even saying he went mold one hardcore or nothing like that, if they're not even saying he shot a strong, aggressive shot at her, then they got nothing. Then she's making stuff up. Like she literally, it's like normally, we think that there's nuance, maybe a misunderstanding of something that happened, a sexual advance where she was kind of with it but wouldn't with it, and then he got aggressive and then she said no. Like stuff like that is like a gray area where we was like kind of in the flow, then she backed out and she felt uncomfortable after what it's like. But no, it's getting to the point where there's a lot of them who are in just completely callous, just full malice of forethought when everything was cool. Like it wasn't even a misunderstanding, just absolute 100% cold blood. Just cold blood. No elevated, heart rate, nothing. Just cool, calm as ever. Just said, I'm just gonna make something up. I'm just gonna make something. I'm just gonna say he lied. It's like that. It's crazy that we're at that point. It's legitimately crazy that we're at that point, and it makes you wonder. Before men, started speaking up on the internet, before men start putting a spotlight on this stuff. Like, it was a segment of men who more or less pretty much just had to take it. They just had to take it. They wasn't going to get no counter narrative media coverage. They wasn't going to, no. She said it, that settled it. That's what it was. That's literally what it was.
She could have been like an employee of the hotel.
Yeah, she had a uniform on. So I don't know if she was a waitress or a bartender, but she was just in that lounge area or whatever. It was a crowded bar.
And it literally, like, what was the, like, optically, like, you're looking, it was, what happened? Like,
yeah, so I'm saying, so we're standing right here. And so she was at kind of the corner where the bar was, came around the corner and said, "Hey, Michael Irvin." He said, "It's nice to meet you." We shook her hand. And it was about a 30-second interaction that was jovial, like a fan interaction. And that was it. And then he went and she went back to work.
Just from your perspective, like, there's no way anything of the nature of, like, yo, you're cut from all the broadcasts. That doesn't even make sense from what you said.
It made that's why this morning I felt sick when I saw it, because it was the first time I was ever, firsthand experience where something like that happened that was just fabricated. It was a totally normal conversation, and the bar was, relatively packed. Like, it was a quick conversation in a crowded area. He went on his way. I never really thought about it again. And she went.
You could tell it's hidden different for him for actually seeing the lie in real time. Actually seeing the lie in real time, being a witness, you could tell it's hidden different. He said this is first time getting a firsthand situation of that. His first time getting a legitimate firsthand situation of that, where we can hear stories and see evidence and rumors and leak stuff, like I'm going to show with the whole Andrew Tate thing in a little bit. We could see that, but it hit different when you witness it. Like he saw that story on the news and he's sitting there like, wait a minute, that ain't what happened. It's I know that's hitting different from him, because I've seen I've seen stuff like that firsthand. Not in the same context where, a celebrity woman lying on a celebrity, but I've seen vicious lies. I'll say I've seen vicious lies, and I'll put it mildly like that. In the courtroom, vicious lies in the courtroom. But anyway, let's go. It's almost over.
Went back to work. He went upstairs, and when I read that it was that he was like taken off of or canceled from like the NFL Network or whatever, it just was like mind blowing that happened so quickly off a 30-second conversation where it was normal. I didn't get it. So
wow. I appreciate you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Any message to, like, Michael? You got to meet him and everything.
No, I'll say this, man. I'm from Philadelphia. I grew up. Michael was our enemy, right? But he's super, super, super nice guy, and that's why I felt like I needed to say something, only because he's a good dude, and to have that happen and have your like livelihood or your career taken is crazy. Like, it's not fair. So it was worth coming out and saying something.
Yeah. That's wild. That's wild. And I'm late to the party covering that, because I've been all over the place. But I did have to weigh in on just the overall mass ridiculousness of that. Just the overall, just massive amount of just like that was one that it just defies all reason and logic. Like I said, there's a lot of situations where you don't believe it. It sounds fishy, but it was an actual interaction that could have possibly been something. And yeah, that's the new wide look of the studio. Been playing around with cameras and stuff. Got a new lens. My camera was ashy on that last show, so I had to get a new lens. Because apparently some cameras work when they focus in on one subject, but they can't focus in on a wide room. So that's why the quality was a little degraded. So I had to get a better lens. Just came in. So hopefully that one look a lot better on the wide shot. I probably could still tweak it a little more, but hopefully that wide shot there do actually look a little better. But yeah, still need to tweak some things on it, because I really just put it on. I just put it on and didn't do a whole lot with it. Didn't tweak it, didn't do no, program. But anyway, that's YouTube shop talk. Let me get back to the show. Okay, Jackie said it looked good. All right, cool. But all right, let me get back to it. Let me get back on it. The Andrew Tate situation. Now, it leaked out yesterday. Andrew Tate looked like he posted on something. Look, I don't know if that's Twitter. Says their lies are collapsing. Let me pull that up. Thank you, Pablo. Somebody's saying free Top G. Look, man, Andrew Tate is a very cool dude. That Top G stuff is cool. Top G just sounds corny. It does. I'm sorry. Cool guy. Cool guy. Just the term Top G just sounds corny to me. But we ain't here to talk about that. We are not here to talk about that. But he posted the lies are collapsing. And before we get into the messages, this is somebody saying this. I'll just read this real quick. I'll just read the whole post of it. Andrew Tate, frame job exposed. Verified messages have been leaked, and it clearly shows that the women planned to frame the Tates. They manipulated the Tates into believing they loved, what? Manipulated the Tates and believing they loved them and framed them by involving the embassy shortly after arriving. Them making the Tates think that they love them, that's not a factor in the equation. Now, here we go. Now I gotta zoom all the way in. On this. That's the link, RM. Sir Tice in the building. What's going on? All right, let me get my zoom on. So hopefully y'all could read this along with me. I gotta zoom it to 200. And y'all still can't read that. So y'all just gonna have to trust me. Y'all could probably kind of see that, but y'all kind of just gonna have to trust me. Y'all could probably see that, but you're kind of just gonna have to trust me. But all right. Let's see. Hold on. Is this the first one? These are messages that leaked out between the two girls talking amongst each other. She's saying, you are a good actress. Yes, she's saying you are a good actress with question marks. Okay, we said you are a good actress. Then she says, true, I practiced perfecto. Then it said, just play it cool. I got it. These are the messages coming from them. It says, like you don't know anything. Play dumb. I'm going to pull some tears. Now, remember when they were on Vice? And she broke out some tears and everything? And listen, when women get on TV and start crying, in some situations, if you don't know the facts and the details, you just see that woman crying. I'm not saying full simp chip kicks in, but I'm saying somewhere in some of y'all, a possibility that, oh, she might be telling the truth. She might be telling the truth. That I know that kicks in with some. I know it's tempting to believe it. We've been programmed to look at women as victims, and women, men are Batman. I mean, the women are Batman, and the men are the Joker. Women are the hero, men are the villain. That's how a lot of us have been programmed to look at it. A woman is on there saying a man was abusing her, and she's crying while retelling the story. And and I think it's natural that some people are going to believe it, even if you're calling yourself red pill or whatever. It's some people going to believe it. But it's saying there that these are messages between the two chicks. She's saying, play dumb. I'm going to pull some tears out. Literally saying, I'm going to pull some tears out. Then it says, and play dumb. Good advice. Thank you, baby. All right, going forward. It says, and this is says 1 day before the first raid. We are so good though. We need a fucking Oscar. They already talking about the plotting and planning of it. It says, let's go, let's go. All right. It said, and it goes on and says there, let's just go play it cool and change my name so it will not start with an A. LOL. Got it. Some of this is going to be a little, wordy and tedious and not 100% relevant, but most of it is going to tie in good. But anyway, it goes on to say, yeah, I told you to be like saying a nice message, and that we are hurt or shit like that, and that we do love them, but just don't like the situation. That's them basically, saying that they're okay. That part right there. Let me make sure I understand that part, because it's saying, I told you to be like saying a nice message, and that we are hurt or shit. And see, it's written weird. I hate that. Saying a nice message, and that we are hurt or shit like that, and that we do love them, but don't like the situation. Now, I don't even know if that part right there, that's something that they was trying to say to the Tates, or that was something that they were planning. I think that was something they were planning on saying to the people or something like that. Yeah, it was okay, because it says, so they will not think that we are really against them, So they're either trying to, I don't know if they're trying to disguise to the Tates that they don't want the Tates to think that they're against them, or they don't want the people that they talking to think that they're against the Tates, so that makes it more believable. If you're playing out tears and saying, oh, I really like them, I love them, I just don't like the situation, I just don't like what they're doing to me. So that's open to interpretation of what they meant right there. But either way it goes, they're still plotting, planning, and strategizing to pull something off. Then it goes on forward to say, play the victim. I mean, we are, but like, yeah, act like we still love them and stuff. Yeah, that's smart. Play the victim. I mean, we are, but like, yeah, act like we still love them and stuff. Ha ha ha. I mean, we are. It's like they joking about the whole idea of them being victims, or allegedly, supposedly. Like they're making light of that, but like, so while saying play the victim, actual victims typically don't go in ha 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 with laughing jolly play the victim. But it says, wait, what? It says tomorrow we should wear makeup and sunglasses so nobody really notices what we look like or who we are. I think they're talking about how they want to disguise themselves on camera for the whole situation. Hit the like button if you're new in here. Hit the like button if you just made it in. Oh, now this is where it get real interesting. Because keep in mind, these victims are saying, yeah, we are writing a movie ASAP. Yep. Writing a movie. So they planning it, they plotting it, they saying put on an Academy Award winning performance. Well, I ain't even got to that part yet, but they plotting it and planning it, saying that, you're a good actress, or I worked up some tears, or I've been practicing. Like, yeah, I practiced for that. So yeah. So they're basically saying that we're going to put on an act. Like, just think the Vice interview. Think the interview when they talking to authorities, but the Vice interview more specifically, where you can see the acting, you can see her crying, and the other one saying, wow, you're a good actress. Like, let all that flow in. Then Alana, okay, I don't even know. I guess that's the name. But anyway, it says, for sure, we have to. I'm dying inside. Let's email Netflix ASAP. And then the other one says, Hulu, Amazon Prime, they already planning. They planning getting the bag off of it already. Victims planning to get the bag. All right, says, I know you don't believe I can handle this, but I can. I'm not so concerned. Tristan doesn't really care if I leave. I know some people are going to interpret that because they're like, they were holding them hostage, not letting them leave. No, she meant he don't care if I like leave, like if I quit messing with them and quit doing whatever they're doing with them. But he said Tristan doesn't really care if I leave going, because we've made the brothers believe we are in love, meaning that if Andrew and Tristan think that, oh, these girls are so in love with us, if they leave, they're gonna come right back like that. So that sort of debunks the whole held against our will, because that's one of the things that they said when they called the police. They said they were held against their will, and there's videos in the whole timeline that showed that during the time that they were allegedly held against their will, that they were there partying on nights when Andrew Tate and Tristan wasn't even there, but they're just there with a bunch of girls getting drunk, partying, making TikTok videos. Like the evidence of all that is out there. But they say they think we will run back, which means they have freedom to come and go as they please. If they're worrying about leave, if the Tate brothers understand that if they leave that they're going to come back, then that means that they're not stopping them from going anywhere. So nobody's held against their will. Says my main concerns are coming from things some girls are saying. A lot to explain. We will be out of here fine. Says think they care that much if we leave. I'm sorry, it's written kind of funny. Okay, think we care that much if we leave anyways. I think she means I don't think they care that much. Yeah, don't think they care that much if we leave anyways, which is why I feel okay. We'll make the call. And it says, and do the right thing in the situation. Right, now we want to be in London. All right. Listen to voice message, go to London, but why have all the American embassy on alert? You're causing a major upheaval because the Marines and all the American squad is on. Like I said, some of this is getting tedious. All the American squad is on the go now. Fuck it, Emma. Fuck it. All right. They're talking about all the upheaval and everything that they causing. You called. I didn't. I want to leave London. You called that on you. Tells them to come Tuesday when we leave. Okay, so they're planning on leaving and then they want the people to come after they leave. So that's what they was basically saying. They okay, got it. It's written kind of weird and it's sloppy and it's jumbled up, but that's basically the gist of it. They were planning on leaving, not being held against their will. They were just planning on when they were going to leave London, and it looked like they were talking about they want the people to come in after they're gone. That's basically what they were saying. All right, he says, then they could see everything. If you stop me from going to London, expect me to disappear. I want to go to London. All right. This part gets weird. Hold on, let me see. Because now on that part, I don't know what she's talking to. I don't know if it's just the two girls still talking to each other on this part. It's like you had to read this shit like 5 times. It's like the money shots already happened when they were basically planning the whole thing. But hold on. All right. Okay, good. Yeah, that part was tedious and I didn't know who was talking to who and about what. But the money shots were compiled. The money shots were compiled right here. You're a good actress. True, I practice. Perfecto. Just play it cool. I got it. Like you don't know. Play dumb. I'm going to pull some tears. Play dumb. Good advice. Thank you. And going back here. Yeah, this was a little more tedious than I thought. Says we have to. I'm dying inside. Let's email Netflix ASAP. WhatsApp, Hulu, Amazon Prime. They talking about making a movie out of it. That's what they're on. That's what they were on. It says, if you're wondering about the date, it's because the way they uploaded them into Excel. Yeah, no, it was weird, and some stuff was blurred out and all that. So it was kind of hard to tell in some parts exactly who was talking to who and all kind of shit. So yeah, it was some parts of it that was weird. There was some parts of it that was weird. Right there, what you're saying there, that's a part that we have legitimately covered in regards to this. If you associate with dogs, you end up with fleas. Absolutely, absolutely. You got to be careful with who you're that in cahoots with. So yeah, I mean, it's no doubt that I mean, that's an angle on it, but I don't want that angle to lose the main point. I don't want that angle to lose the main point that people basically plot, plan, strategize to bring two successful men down. Like that, like I don't want to lose that point, because the bigger point and the main point to me is that they do this. This is something that they do. And this is something that gets overlooked. This is something that they get away with lying about. This is something that they get away with lying about. So even though, yeah, you can criticize the man for being in a certain environment or having certain women around him, and yeah, we get that and we understand that. We get that and we understand that 100%. But what I don't want to lose sight of just the simple fact that a lot of this stuff be founded on nothing. We just reviewed the whole Michael Irvin thing, how the witnesses that was there basically made it painstakingly clear that nothing happened. Their messages are showing that nothing is happening. They're saying, yeah, go in, pull out some tears, play the victim. I mean, we are the victims, but play the victim. Like they're talking about, you're a good actress. You're a good actress. We got to pitch a story to Hulu and Netflix and the whole works. Like if that's the energy, if that's what's going on, it lets you know exactly what it is. And like I said earlier, it makes you have to stop, think, and wonder. You have to stop, think, and wonder what has been going on. What legitimately has been going on before men stepped up. Because you can't deny the simple fact. People who try to talk about the inadequates of male spaces that speak up for men against issues involving women. You could talk a lot about oh, y'all ain't making a difference, but the fact of the matter is, I think aspects of media aspect of media coverage and perception, and when men get in the hot seat, I think the burden of proof is higher nowadays. And the investigation is stronger, because it had to be a time. And the link is in the chat. Anybody want to come up and weigh in on either this Andrew Tate situation or the Michael Irvin situation that I spoke on earlier? The link is in the chat. But the fact of the matter is that overall burden of proof, is higher and harder, and it's like we gotta keep pushing the envelope on that. It's like we can't let that breathe. We can't let that breathe. Like when a man is a public figure, and granted, the problems of a public figure don't always trickle down or extrapolate to the regular common folks. But the fact of the matter is, if somebody is being accused of something, it don't matter whether it's Bill Cosby, Johnny Depp, Tory Lanez, or Andrew Tate. It don't matter. It don't matter. I think it is incumbent upon men to bare minimum on their media platforms, if that's all you could do, if that's the only rock you have to throw on your media platforms, expose the truth, expose the reality of what's going on. Expose the reality of what's going on. Because there's other facets of the media that they're just not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. And we know that. But yeah, so that's a wild one. That's a wild one. And I always circle back to, what is the space for? What is the space for? Some could say, y'all just talking. Y'all just talking, it don't mean nothing. But nah, No. But I am joined by who we got here. We got David Lockett in the building. What's going on?
What's up, brother, man? How you doing?
Doing good. What's up? What you got on this?
Yo, man, it's a war on men and a war on manhood right now, and it's a war on masculinity. I think that Michael Irvin's situation is totally foul. It's one of those I'm white and I say so type of deals. It's also one of those I'm a woman and I say so type of deals. And it's given this whole woke agenda has given a lot of women a real arrogant sense of power that they're willing to abuse. A man is guilty upon accusation, and here's a 45-second conversation in which he shook this woman's hands. Now he's the star, okay? She's nothing. I mean, let's just say she's a hotel employee. Yet she can turn around and vindictively try to Karen him out of an opportunity to speak during the Super Bowl, which is really what she did. She just used the Karen power, and our women, black and white, are drunk with power based on the skewed dynamics of woke culture and woke ideology. It's gone too far, and I'm glad that everything happens in phases and things go in and out of fashion, because we're going to look back on this 10-20 years from now and laugh, hopefully, depending on where we take our society.
Now that's an interesting concept when you say things come in phases. So you're of the view that, like, okay, what phase do you speak of? Are you talking about the phase of women accusing with no evidence?
Yeah. I got a feeling that we're going to look back, say 20, 30 years from now at this period of time and laugh at ourselves, just like we laugh at bell-bottom pants and big ass afros when we look at, things from the 70s and 60s and somebody being called a jive turkey, we think about that and we laugh and we go, okay, well, that was that era of time, and maybe we need to bring back some of the afros and the self-love that we established, because our culture has definitely been co-opted and perverted to celebrate the lowest elements of Black American culture. But I hope that this too shall pass, and that we'll look back at this with caricatures of big fat girls with blue hair, and screaming about some ridiculousness and throwing out personal pronouns and calling people them and all this other kind of ridiculous BS. We're going to have to come back to reality at some point.
You know what I think? I think you're probably right on. I think we're going to look back at it in someday, and we're going to be like, no, that I can't believe that that women used to could just say anything, and then everybody just believed it, and then now the man was just brought under charges based off just what she said with no evidence. I think that will get corrected for at some point in the future. But I do think that whole what you said about pronouns and all of that I think that's a losing battle. I think they're going to win that one.
Really?
I think the whole gender dysphoria LGBTQ thing, like if they overreach to the point, like, I mean, and I get Nate on here, he started talking about how the goal is for them to be able to touch on your kids and all that stuff. If they push it that damn far, that's where the pushback is going to be in. But far as they're just society just overall accepting most of what they want to do and how they want to do it, and gender dysphoria and transitioning. At some point, the science and technology going to get better, where it's going to be easier to transition a kid. It's like that.
Yo, man.
I don't think they're going to lose that battle. I don't.
I don't know, man. It's funny. I don't have television. I have televisions in my house, but I use them as computer monitors. But I don't pipe TV into my house. I don't expose my children to that. And my son and I were at a casino hotel in Reno just this past weekend. I was doing a job up there, and I had him with me. And so we had a chance to watch, I guess it was Fox News or CNN or whatever. And my son was the first to notice. He was like, hey, what the hell? They actually had a white child in a car. This is during a standard regular commercial, okay, for something totally unrelated. And she's playing, like, kissing on the window, right? Mashing her nose against the car window in the backseat of a car, right? The car is driving by a black man who's working like as a gardener or whatever, working on the garden or whatever. But the whole scene was cut and played as though it was her sexually flirting with this man and like blowing him a kiss by pressing her lips up against the window, and him actually, you know, getting turned on and smiling by it and whatever. Yes, they are going there. They are going to go there. And
how old did this kid look?
Dude, this kid was like a 5-year-old girl, okay, in the backseat of a car, you know, like maybe playing around on the window, mashing her nose against the window and all this other kind of stuff. But the way they made it end up was like her, like that, blowing a kiss. And of course, the guy was black, so he was clearly not her father or any type of relative. They made sure that you saw that, just like the Benetton ads, right? The Benetton ads where they show you all these rainbow colors and all this other kind of stuff, but then they show children in poses with adults, intimate poses with adults that could not biologically be any relation to them. You see what I'm saying? And they're definitely pushing that. And you know, I believe that our ancestors left certain stories in the book, in the Bible on purpose, like Sodom and Gomorrah. I mean, I believe that, you know, and like the fact that Jesus sat down and weaved a whip of 7 tails, which means he had time to consider what he was doing before he went off on the money changers in the temple. In other words, even a man of discernment with a calm mind understands that some people deserve an ass whipping sometime. And so, you know, I believe these stories have survived in the Bible for us because they're relevant and valid. And I do believe these people, these money changers, these same individuals that Jesus had to contend with, these same people will turn this place into Sodom and Gomorrah if they can. Now, you can say it's because they lived among the Assyrians historically, and the Assyrians were debauched people and very amoral people. It could be for whatever reason it is. But when you think about it, it has no end. We have a black president going to African countries telling them they're not gay enough. What? As though that's an issue? No, we're not talking about access to the gold mines. We're talking about whether they are gay friendly enough. Really? I mean, it's really sick. It's sick to the point of stupidity. And no, I mean, where is it going to end? I think they're going to continue to slide the Overton window to, like, I guess the left is the only direction I can say, or down, or whatever. You know what I mean? But they're going to keep pushing it until, I don't know, man. I think they basically just hate God and hate the human spirit, hate humanity, and it's all about just destroying and poisoning and perverting and everything that they can, as much as they can, as far as they can. Yes, they will take it to children, and they will take it to animals. Yes, they will.
Animals.
Yes, they will.
Well, you know what? I could actually see it. I could see people 10 years from now, if they're not already doing it.
Bravos. Check out shout out to my man UBTV. Check out UBTV's channel, man. The smartest beast in the field. This brother is really smart. There are already brothels all over Europe where people pay to have sex with animals already, right now.
So it's legal in places in Europe. In other words,
it's legal and it's obviously appreciated by the market and by the culture. Now, with all of the plethora of animals we have in Africa, you know damn good and well that ain't going on nowhere and no tribe, nowhere.
Yeah, I could see it going that route in 10 years where people are going to be fighting for the right to love and or marry a goddamn animal. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen, and it's going to and they do want to have access to your children. It's very sad, but they want to create a world within which, well, first of all, it's about destroying the family. We already know that, right? Because families are autonomous, right? Think about the French chateau, right? You're growing enough food to feed your kids, and you're growing enough wine to make yourself rich, selling it to the world. And if we can establish that, which is what I'm trying to put forth in the Black American Party, if we can establish that and make that cool, make that popular within our culture, establishing off-grid, independent homesteads for ourselves that we can unite into communities and have food co-ops and be able to survive without the system, so that we can actually negotiate toe-to-toe with the system without being totally dependent upon it. If that's what they don't want to see happen. That's what they don't want to see happen. And of course, it's going to take men to build this, and it's going to, and the families are going to have to be patriarchal. They're going to have to be. We're going to have to return to the basics. And we as Black Americans are going to have to take a stand and come to the determination that, liberalism is not for us. Leftism is not the place for us. It's something that's been used, we have been used to push it, but ultimately, what has it done for us? It's destroyed our families. It's destroying our culture. It's got us going overseas for our women, okay, for better or for worse. And I'm an original passport bro, so I'm not going to trip.
Yeah.
Charles
Merchant in the building with the $10 super chat. He says, when will men figure out that corporations are paying women for false accusations? Yeah. When I listened to some of Fresh and Fit last night, and they were theorizing that somebody had paid the chicks to do that. And I'm not going there yet.
Just like with Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I mean, I'll await evidence on that, and the evidence may never come on that one. You probably never be able to pin the tail right on the donkey that did it. So, but that is a theory that's out there that they were paid off, that they were paid to basically do it. I don't know if that's true, so I opted not to even go that route, but it's been thrown out there. It's been thrown out there. So there's that. He says this is how they are replacing. Hold on, real quick. He says, this is how they are replacing men by destroying their reputations. Absolutely. Yes. Go ahead. What you was about to say?
No, that's what I was saying. It's the same thing with Cosby. It was a total character assassination. I was talking to a young lady the other day, and I was saying how we were on the subject of parenting and forgiving our parents and forgiving our grandparents, for screwing us up and so forth. And I had mentioned that Bill Cosby had, before he wrote his book, Fatherhood or Parenting, there really wasn't any real study of how to be a good parent. Before that, our parents didn't have any book to go by. And when I mentioned Bill Cosby, the lady I was talking to started laughing, and I'm like, well, what are you laughing about? And she's like, oh, Bill Cosby. And she had already internalized the reputation of him just being the sexual bad boy, that she totally had no understanding or cognition, or had never even been introduced to all of the great things that Cosby, the child psychologist, Cosby, the educated professional, had done for us, for our culture, Fat Albert, the Cosby Kids, and everything else, had done for us and for our culture, and what he was trying to do for the image of Black men. Mission accomplished. That is exactly what whoever, you gotta know that all of those women didn't all of a sudden get a wild hair and decide that it was wrong for them to do drugs in the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah, that's wild. That is wild.
It's
But,
wild. So we're in that age where I believe there is I don't know who it is. I guess that makes me officially a conspiracy theorist, but there is definitely a concerted effort to kill manhood and masculinity, and I'm wondering, is it to pervert and destroy world culture, mankind, or is it simply to weaken the United States? Because whoever's doing this, whoever whatever mind or minds are behind this nosediving of society, of culture, they have to understand that the Russians aren't on board and the Chinese aren't on board.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think there's nefarious people with evil intent, and then there's true believers. The true believer thinks that everything that they're doing is wonderful. It's wonderful. We're building an egalitarian society. Men and women will be viewed as equal. Any type of gay, binary, LGBTQRS, TUV will all be, accepted, and so their push, I guess their weakening of masculinity basically levels the playing field for everything else, and they think that's a good thing. And so a lot of them are actually coming from that perspective, and they're true believers, and they actually believe that it's a good thing. But you're right, China and Russia is sitting there. They're sitting there doing, they're rubbing their hands together, like, go ahead.
Feminize your men. This is perfect. Yeah. You're the richest country in the world. You're the freest country in the world. You got more guns than anybody else per capita. So go ahead on and cut your balls off. We're waiting.
Yeah, no, legit. That's legitimately what's going on. They're going to take advantage of it. Like China, I saw a report a while ago where they were doing something. I think it was China, somewhere in Asia. I think it was China. They were doing something to try to increase the masculinity in their boys. They were like putting them through all kinds of stuff, because I think they understand that yeah, we gotta make intelligent warriors to go out and compete and be better than everybody else in the world. It's like they understand that, and they understand that it's going to come from driven men, so
they've already taken all effeminate men off the television. They already understand the root of it. They've already made it, law that they've taken all effeminate men off TV. No more K-pop, no more girly boys, none of that.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know they put it into law. You said
they put it into law. They made it official. And not to diss, but I mean, Asian of all of the races, right? Asian men tend to be effeminate more than anybody else. I mean, we got to put it that way.
Yeah. I mean,
on the masculinity scale, we're on one extreme and they're on the other. I mean, we got to just put it there.
Yeah, it is true. They are the least desired group of men. They got the lowest testosterone. They're the shortest. We got it. It is somebody actually did the math and somebody went and measured that stereotype to find out if it was true.
Right.
It's true. It's true. They got the smallest dicks, so it is what it is.
There you go. I didn't want to go there, but
yeah.
It does seem to correlate too, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not just a stereotype; it's truth to it. Somebody measured them. So in the masculinity department, they do got a lot going for themselves, but they do got a good culture that has puts a high premium on education and family structure and all of that. But it's almost like they got to overcorrect for as far as the masculinity aspect of it. So they so they understand they understand what type of men you got to breed and produce in order to compete. Because they're looking at it. They're looking at it globally.
Right.
We look
they
at
don't really hold on to muscle mass the way other people do. They don't have the same genetics, as far as that's concerned. I've seen some pretty big Asian bodybuilders, but they're all juiced.
Yeah. It's a show on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's a show on Netflix. I want to say, it's not like an American Ninja Warrior, but it's a bunch of ripped Asian dudes competing in various stuff. It's a show. It's something they got over there where it looked like they're trying to breed a culture of certain
Right.
things. You could just kind of see how their mind is and where their mind is at. But Bernard Riley says they release an army training video showing that they are capable of hand-to-hand full contact fighting. Yeah, I think I don't know if he's talking about China or Korea or whatever the hell. Somebody is saying, hold on, wait, somebody is saying, yeah, full of it. By all means, come on up. The link is in the chat room. Just click that link that I just put right there in the chat room. You could definitely come up and have your
with a new
definitely come up and have your say.
Yeah.
With a new
they had us with the karate flicks, man, with the kung fu movies. We already thought they could fight. You know what I mean? We already thought they could all fight.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what Aaron was putting right there. Yeah, that is true. I did find you when I initially found you, but whenever I type in your name now, some K-pop star, some Asian stuff come up. No. I'm talking to RM. RM. It's some Asian K-pop something going on named RM that but yeah, no. Small detail, but yeah, no, it's definitely wild. It's definitely wild, but
so you think it's global, right? You think it's global that I'm reading in the chat that people are saying that Russia is having feminism issues and the fact that China had to make a stand is I believe, man. I believe that I think we're going toe to toe with the devil, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people. I mean, I'm not saying that the spiritual aspect of it can't come into the conversation. I personally don't go that route. I don't look at things in those terms really, but I understand where you're coming from. It rather it's spiritual, psychological, political, what cultural, social, all hands on deck. All hands on deck when you're looking at this thing. Yeah, Charles Merchant. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people in the chat with you, but he said he agree with you that it is a spiritual thing. And I got a lot of people come up and they speak on that. A lot of people come up and they speak on that from the spiritual angle. Rod of God podcast. That's my guy. He always come up and give the spiritual biblical breakdown of this. He says, seen a North Korean military video leaked like best of the best video package. Yeah. No, they be on it. We got Hood Servative in the building. What's up? What's going on? I figured something in this conversation might have piqued your interest, but go ahead. You got the floor, you got the mic.
Yeah, what up? I was always suspicious of the whole Andrew Tate story anyway. Listen, guys are capable of anything, but I need evidence before I just convict them like that, especially because we've seen so many cases. I think 2 dudes just got off of some kind of sexual allegation, some college case. Like we've seen a lot of these things. Like you're always guilty even after you get proven innocent. So it is what it is with these kind of sexual allegations. But
character assassination.
Right, exactly. And even after this, he'll always have like the stench of it over him or whatever. But I think as time goes on, you'll probably see more and more evidence that it's either going to fall apart incredibly or it's going to blow up amazingly. And so far, it's looking like it's falling apart incredibly.
Yeah, no doubt. Your mic is slightly low, and I think you got feedback too.
All right, let me try that again.
This
Yeah,
guy,
but
Damon, is asking, can we talk about educating black boys by black men? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of part of the whole off-grid thing, right? Is the fact that you can homeschool your children. And definitely, we got to get them away from that agenda. You know, my son is in high school, and he told me that they took them out of class, brought them all to the cafeteria just to show them some CNN program about Pride Month. I don't remember getting any memo or signing anything saying that my son can be taken out of class to learn about Pride Month.
yeah. I mean that whole statement is a deflection when it's like you can't talk about any issue because there's this other issue over here. An issue that we do talk about all the time is the raising and educating of black boys and how they grow up and then they become the type of black men that we that we have some issue and disagreement with. So we do talk about all that. We talk a lot about the culture that ultimately leads to you know, the black men and black women not being together, and then black boys being raised apart from their being raised, you know, apart from their black father. And that's a common issue that we talk about. That's basically a reoccurring theme in this space. So you're trying to run a deflection gamut for no reason in there. No. Get out of here with that. Those are things that we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Don't shut. All right, you. I just explained this quite well. Don't get timed out. You are talking to a man who fought like hell for custody of his kids and got custody of his kids. Like, you don't come in here with some. It's your responsibility. Like you're talking to somebody who's just abandoned the post and ain't on his job. Like, get the fuck out of here with that.
Same here, brother. Same
here. Yeah. So get the hell on. I know the deflectionary tactics when I see it. Who you caping for right now? Who you deflecting and caping for? But shout out to no surprise what to Irvin. Emmett was a hold on. No surprise what to Irvin. Emmett was a lie. He whistled. Huh? Tosa, a black boy, touched a woman's hand in an elevator. What are common factors? Wink, wink. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't get it either. So he supposedly whistled at a woman, and that Emmett Till touched this woman's hand. So I guess that oh man, that's some white kid who can't even troll properly.
You know what? I was so lost in that troll when he said Irvin and then Emmett. I'm thinking his teammate Emmett Smith. I wouldn't even.
You know what I mean? It's like, what?
I didn't even know.
He whistled. I don't know.
Oh man, yeah. I got lost in the troll. I really did.
Stupid. I mean, he should finish his Bud Light and go back to sleep.
Got me feeling like I need one. Right now. God damn. I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, he's speaking in code. But yeah, man. No, it's crazy out here. I do think the growth of, this male space, men talking and speaking up on these things, I do think is moving the needle. I don't think that, every battle won't be won. Every battle won't be won. Yeah. But no, I think it is moving the needle. It's harder to just throw out bullshit now and it just goes unchallenged because, before, it wasn't independent media. So now multiple conflicting media narratives are out there. So, people have to contend with that.
And the fact that we have the independent media, I think it's time. I think what we're starting right now is a real, masculinist movement. Remember they did what they thought was the masculinist movement back in the 80s, but that was really a lot of white guys going out into the woods and beating drums and crying about whatever happened when they were kids. But
oh damn, what was this? This is a movement I don't know about.
Yeah, man, it was based around 2 books. It was based around a book by a poet. It's called Iron John, and it was by a poet named Robert Bly. And then there was another book, Fire in the Belly by Sam Keene, which wasn't, an allegory or, poetic. It was just a standard book. I think those were kind of the 2 of the seed books that started what they called the masculinist movement back in the day. And there were a few brothers that got into it, but I mean, it was basically, a white thing, I guess. And, it's culturally.
Whenever white men get together for some cause or rallying, and you said in the woods, I mean, it sounds like they up to some bullshit. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Right. You
or at least
AKs.
At least I know it came off like that. It came off like that. It's like, they got a bad rep with getting together with just white men, only white men, organizing for a cause. It's like they got a bad rep with that.
Well, no, there were a few tokens, right? There were a few sprinkles here and there, but I think what it lacked is a primarily masculine stance from the beginning, from the root, right? And I think that's why what they call the white manosphere, the Rollo Tomasis and whatever, and what we call the black manosphere has split. That's the reason such a divide exists in the first place. In my opinion, in my humble opinion.
He says, sorry, my keyboard is on the fritz. Apologies. Okay.
Oh, his keys are sticking.
Yeah, you don't have to push it. Pushing send is a decision. You
yeah, right.
Yeah, no matter how much that autocorrect throw you off, whatever the hell, all of that. No. You read it before you push send. Read it before you push send. People just be typing any damn thing and hitting send on that shit.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm looking through some comments here. I know Game Changer said he was about to come up here. Everybody that's currently in here in the building, make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. We about to run this a little way, hour 17 minutes. We'll probably run this up into the 2-hour mark. See what happened with this. I'm trying to locate, because I had another story that was semi-related that kind of like that's lost on me right now. I can't exactly find that one. But I do want to see what GC and Hood Conservative take is on this when Hood Conservative come back, and then when GC get up here. I'm gonna see what's going on. But let's see what the sticky keyboard dude is saying. He said, Michael Irvin situation, a woman lied on him. Same thing happened to Emmett Till. False allegations of him whistling at a white woman will spark Tulsa was false allegations of a boy touching a white. Okay. I see what you're getting at there. I don't go full gangster when it comes to comparing the two. Like, nobody was hung, nobody was lynched. I mean, he did lose some money. Off of that. So yeah. I mean, there's a there, but I just think I don't think it's as useful when we call everything Emmett Till. It's like, like literally everything, like the damn Kyrie. Somebody compared the Kyrie Nichols. They brought Emmett Till into that, which like Emmett Till just get is brought into every damn thing. So yeah, that's why I don't go there and call everything that. But it is a there. It is a there because we're talking about the word of a woman. Even though black women, they wield the same power. But
you're right.
Nowadays they do. But yeah, the word of a white woman, get this this successful black man, you know, a successful millionaire, famous black man. Yeah, the word of a peasant girl. Yeah, got him, you know, got him taken down. It's like that. Like that's annoying as hell. It's like men rise to the top. Men rise to the top. This idea, this notion that they're that the men that are in the power position, the men that are that are at the top are the abusers of women. It's like, and I don't like the argument that, oh well, he don't have to do that because he got money and successful and fame, and women do for him whatever he wants. But it's still truth to that. I mean, it's possible for a man to be successful and famous and got money and still just be psychologically messed up. But the fact of the matter is they try to make it seem as if a man getting to that level automatically corrupts him to where now he wants to abuse women. And then so now the stories and the lies, they seem, you know, they're more believable now because he's so successful. And I am of the view that, yeah, I would like to see it get to a place where, you know, we're not going just full. No, we don't got to necessarily go full misogyny with it, but at the same time, it's like this is Michael Irvin and this is Michael Irvin and you're a waitress. Like you can't, you don't got the power to just get him sat down. It's like that's like annoying as hell.
Exactly. That's very annoying. That's very annoying. It's worse than Karen. You know, it's worse than being a Karen. Well, it's actually Karen on steroids.
Somebody said, is this Tate's nigga wake up call?
Yeah.
I think if he was white, he would be in the same situation. This is his you got too big for your britches wake up call. That's more what this is. This is you larger than life. We got to knock you down a peg. You're fighting against feminist ideals. We got to knock you down a peg. That's what this is.
That's all.
What this is. Yeah.
And he's flagrant, you know, which I like him. I like him, you know. I like him because he's flagrant, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I definitely like that about him too. I like that he's bold. I mean, that boldness is what blew him up and made him that big.
That's right.
He got that bold and he got that and he got that big. And it's a clear thing that they want to take that down. Kevin Samuels start getting big. They want to take it down. People want to take Fresh and Fit down, Andrew Tate down. Pablo referenced. Austin Holloman ain't that big, but Pablo referenced him earlier in the show. How, you know, he started getting too big in the whole passport bro thing. Somebody rallied to try to take him down. It's like it's the unfortunate nature of the game. It's the unfortunate nature of the game that somebody's going to try to take you down. It does come down to building a strong enough defense, and that's why some people do it as a deflection, but it is some truth in there that when you got a strong enough defense, that defense includes, you know, political power and all kind of stuff to where your things are in place to where somebody just can't get taken down like that for their opinion. But we live in a world where, I mean, hell, even I think a sitting president got banned on Twitter. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Or was he? Oh, wait, he was out of the White House when he got banned on Twitter.
Trump was banned while he was still in. Isn't that crazy?
So yeah, so that sort of deflates that argument about gaining political power.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, that was kind of when the craziness started, you know. So is Tate locked up still, or is he out?
I thought they did something where he was supposed to get out, but then they did something to get him back in.
Really?
That is the answer to the question. Hold on, wait, hold on. I think he got an extended stay. Hold on. Let me double check that. That's an answer to a question I should know. Hold on, let me double check. Let me double check that. Okay. Despite denying all accusations, he is still under legal watch. What does that mean? It says, despite denying all accusations, he is still under legal watch. and his plea against detention has been written off for the second time. But okay, so yeah, he's still in. So yeah, it was my understanding he was supposed to be getting out, but they oh wait, hold on. They say Top G and his brother will remain till 27th. Okay, yep, to 27th of February. So yeah, they did. I was right. They did basically extend it. He's supposed to be out sooner than that because initially it was supposed to be 30 days, but they did extend it. So he's getting out February. Yeah. So February 27th. February 27th.
They should just give him a channel on a show on Sirius Radio. You know, like they do Howard Stern and Joe Rogan. It's not a silencing, but it's like, okay, we'll put you behind the paywall.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Free Zone Lou in the building says, lock those hoes up. They should be charged for this nonsense. That's the legislation we want passed. That's the legislation we want passed, where yes, they can get locked up for lying. And in fairness, you know, it got to be proven. Got to be proven pretty, you know, unequivocally that they was lying, that they make it up, that they made it up. They get proven, then yeah, I support that. I support that, because if a man is going to get locked up for their lie, they should get locked up for the lie all the same. But is Michael B. Jordan the top black male actor of the generation? Because if he is, he got knocked down a few pegs by fairly nobody and has a rep in public view diminished. That's a different story, man. Y'all be all over the place. We got knocked down a peg by. I mean, it's the difference between getting an ended relationship. You talking about with fucking Lori Harvey? Like, what the hell? What you talking about?
Yeah.
He says Trump got banned during the election. So yeah, he was still technically the sitting president.
Yeah.
Still technically the sitting president. PBD made a great point that whenever you say Top G, you put them quotes on it in a laughing emoji. It's too funny. Yeah, Top G. That's what he called himself. But PBD made a great point that Top G needs to create more allies. He used the example of Oprah. Oprah has Obama, Clinton, celebs, etc. Tate, despite his wealth, doesn't have many. Not big name mainstream allies.
Yeah.
They wouldn't ally themselves to him. They wouldn't. They wouldn't do that either way. That wouldn't happen. I'm pretty confident that wouldn't happen. So he's not going to have those kind of allies, but it would be good if he did have a major ally with some power or presence of some sort. But no, I don't see that happening. A Deadly Raver in the building with a $5 super chat. Shout out to you, Sir Tice, though. Thank you for that $10 super chat. Appreciate that. But Deadly Raver in the building says Tate needs to come out suing everyone involved and breathing red pill fire. Call all the names out and put them all on blast. Absolutely. I agree. 100%. 100%. Shout out to, well, this ain't a super chat, but I'm just reading comments right now. It says Eddie Griffin did a pro Tate video. Not a huge celeb, but not nothing either. I'm about to look that up right now.
Eddie Griffin's the truth teller.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I'm about to look that up.
Out here that went on, that used to be one of his road dogs, man, on tour. Shout out Bird.
All right. Okay. Here it is right here. Looks like we got people coming down there. Well, I got I got the Eddie Griffin clip on deck. Well, we got Game Changer and Sir Tice just came through. What's going on, fellas? Mic check.
Testing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, what up,
Okay.
Jason? To you. Oh.
So to you.
Okay. All right. Sir Tice, what's going on? What you got, Sir Tice?
Yeah, I'll just say it real quick because I'm about to grab lunch. And it's just what salute to you, Devin. Haven't seen you since we used to be on Little Big Nate's. So salute to you.
Peace out, man.
Elevated Engineering made a point I'm going to expand upon on my super chat. He says Eddie Griffin did a pro Tate, not a huge celeb, but nothing either. Man, Eddie Griffin's channel's fire, by the way. I really do like it. But what I'm saying is this, Bernie. As much as we begrudge like people like the MLKs and the civil rights movement and their shenanigans and, their orgies and things like that, what they did have was very good organization. So when somebody got to jail, there was a jail fund and they had lawyers on deck. And when they would set up those demonstrations, and they had the deacons of defense for the physical force. They didn't advertise that. So they had those dominoes all together. And they had their media representatives. What I'm saying is that I ain't talking about necessarily like an Eddie Griffin, but Tate, the guesstimates of his wealth has been between 30 to 100 million, right? That's me more than enough to like, look, when they come down on you, they're going to hit you on the PR first or whatever, right? So you got to have the same PR that's going to, be able to counter this, right there. Dude, there are so many reputation defender type of sites out there where a lot of this is why I don't follow a lot of celebrity news, because a lot of it is falsely created in the first place. You can literally pay an organization $100,000 just to inflate your brand, create fake controversies. But I'm just saying that this stuff exists. He's got the resources because he's fighting a PR battle. I mean, you see even on YouTube, misogynist Andrew and Tristan Tate do this. You're not necessarily going to get them on a like for like, but you will have your side somewhat out there. Okay, that's what I'm just saying he has to do. Right now, he has nothing but the manosphere, no disrespect to us or anything, but
right.
But we're just a bunch of incels, apparently, I'm sorry, a bunch of unaccomplished incels, especially Game Changer, so that's a joke, of course. I'm making a point in that they look at us as nothing, and you were right about how these celebrities, many of them are too afraid. Many of them are too afraid to come out. But I'm just saying that would be a good idea. He needs to talk to PBD. He's supposedly worth $100 million. I'm sure he's got some other connections there. So that's all I was getting at.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that. I mean, the closest thing you got to somebody who has a mainstream-ish face and appeal is probably PBD. The Joe Rogans of the world would sit him down and not give him a smearing interview. So, I mean, I guess making allies with people like that, I mean, that's the best he could do. But you compared to, pull your super chat back up. You had mentioned to somebody,
I was using Oprah because Oprah's an unaccomplished. Well, let me rephrase that. Oprah gives political advice, gives dating advice, gives advice about how you should raise a family, and has done it for 35, 40 years and has none of the above.
Yeah.
So she's a good, easy target for me to pick up on. Okay, here's another one. Her girl, Gayle King. Remember when she did that bullshit with Kobe Bryant with Lisa Leslie?
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, it's Snoop Dogg coming back with his tail between his legs. And I'm like, wait a minute. But then we started seeing Snoop on every beer commercial there was. And I'm like, okay, I see the payout he took and shit from that. My point is that Gayle King ain't no real celebrity, but she aligned herself with Oprah Winfrey. They put the full court press on Snoop Dogg, even though he didn't do anything.
Yeah. No, I got you. I got you on that. No, good stuff.
Y'all hold it down.
All right. Peace, Sir Tice. Peace. GC in the building. What's going on? What you got?
Hey, So Sir Tice brought up a good point when he talked about the civil rights movement and how it's organized and structured and how Black people were definitely prepared for it. But Jim Crow was they were about 100 years in before it ended. So Black people were used to white tactics. They were used to the tactics of the Jim Crow South. They knew that, like, okay, they're going to do the smear campaign. We know that it's going to be a couple of white guys, that don't belong in our neighborhood, just camped outside with old timey rudimentary cameras and stuff, to watch our every move. They know that, they're going to throw some white women at me. And when I sleep with them, they're going to tell my wife. They were familiar with the tactics because white people have been doing it for a century. We are not used to this. They just started Me Tooing niggas, like 5 years ago. Like this is new to us. So we haven't had time to prepare for this. And Bill Cosby was the first hit. Like, it's like, and I was shocked. I was shocked. I was like, nah, they're not gonna arrest a nigga over something that happened in the 70s and shit like that. They are not going to mess with. They're not gonna drag this dude for something that a white woman claimed, happened 50 years. This is not, and they did. I was shocked. We're not used to it, so we didn't know how to prepare to support, and all that. This is new to us. We're being ambushed here, but now we know, and we know to back these dudes. We know now that that they are arresting dudes that are labeled enemies to society, and by enemies to society, we're talking about enemies to bitch society. We're talking enemies to fat ass bitch society. We're talking about enemies to the blue-haired bitch society. We're talking about enemies to the matriarchy is what we're talking about. Enemies of mammies is what Andrew Tate is. And the tactics that they're using, we are now becoming learned. We are becoming learned of these tactics. And now we know how to react. We know that everybody that they are accusing is not necessarily guilty. They are just accusing just to besmirch people like Andrew Tate, people like Bill Cosby, and people like Mike Tyson, and people like Clarence Thomas. And people like Brian Banks. We have to prepare for, and study and prepare for this new wave of trying to protect the bitchocracy. We have to, or else we will be subject to it.
What you said, the what?
Protect the bitchocracy. It's a hierarchy. Yeah, it's a hierarchy of bitches. They're trying to create a higher. It's just like white supremacy.
I gotta write that down.
Just like white supremacy is a hierarchy of whiteness. This is a hierarchy of bitches. Yeah. And we have to protect this new merging, hierarchy. We do because I will not. I seen it. I seen the. You see the movies back in the day where the black man had to walk with his head down because of the white man. I don't want to live in a bitchocracy where regular men have to walk with their head down because of so many bitches in the world. Like, we don't have to do that. I want my son to hold his head up high, and say what is on his mind. And if a woman says something with her tits out, like, my eyes are up here, but your tits are down there, and that's what I choose to look at. The fuck is wrong with you? Walking around with your tits out, telling me my eyes is right here. You got a bitch? You don't tell me what to look at? Well, who do I look like? Do I look like Jim Crow? Do I look like that nigga that played on Cottonmouth on the dude that played Cottonmouth on Luke Cage?
Yeah.
That nigga look, yeah. You ever notice? Don't he look like he came from like the old timey South? Like, don't he look like segregation? Do I look like that nigga? That nigga look like segregation. I'm not him, motherfucker. I sit where I want and I look where I want. And if you don't want me looking at your titties, then don't have them out. I like titties.
Yeah, I don't apologize for being heterosexual, man.
Yeah, exactly. Nor should you, but they're trying to make you because that's the bitchocracy. And it's not just the women, you know, it's the bitch niggas. You know, they bitch niggas and the L Gibbets, they are trying to see, here's what it's all about. Here's what it's all about. All of these people, they're after my penis. They're after my motherfucking penis, but they can't have it.
Yeah.
RM got a good idea going. You gotta get a game changer glossary. That's what
okay. I do. Yeah.
You got to work on that. So like right now, while you're sitting there, just write on a random piece of paper or inside your phone, just write down bitchocracy and just come back to it later. Just start adding words. Words.
It'll eventually come to a whole language. Yeah.
Definitely.
Hey, I grew up, you know, not too far from E40. We get at making languages.
Right on. And if you're in the Detroit area, hang out with Bernard Riley and a few fellow Black Manosphere bros at Barcade Detroit for games, drinks, February 20th, 8 p.m. Oh, shit, that's right around the corner. What's the date today? It's like the 16th, ain't it? Okay, that's right around the corner. February 20th, 8 to 11 p.m. No cover charges, fees, more info in the link down there at evite.com or evite.me. Well, just click the damn link. If you're in the Detroit area and you're interested in coming on through and hanging out, make sure you go ahead and do that. But no, definitely good stuff. Did you hear about the oh shit? No, I'm probably gonna cover. No, I'm gonna cover that one later. But no, so yeah, I'll circle it back. Ask you, did you hear about the Michael Irvin thing? I mean, it's kind of old now. I covered it earlier in the show today, where literally, like these chicks with the Andrew Tate situation, they were like kind of entangled with him. You know, it's kind of entangled a little. You know. So when there's entanglements, you know, shit like that happens. But with the Michael Irvin thing, it was more so a situation where he just met a chick, said hello for 40 seconds, and then they shook hands, turned, walked away. Eyewitnesses have come out and said, look, I was there. I was standing right next to them. I saw the whole thing. They just had a friendly, you know, jovial conversation of like when a fan meets a celebrity and, hey, how just smiles and laughs and a good conversation, and walked away. And then she apparently walked away from that conversation. Or no, one of the guys said the way he said he said he was right there, you know who the waitress was basically, and they were saying that the waitress at the shop, at the place, literally just was saying something along the lines that he sexually assaulted to some degree or something in a 40-second friendly conversation. He just threw that out there, and he wasn't able to get on the he wasn't even able to host the Super Bowl, so he lost some money. On that, just on something that simple. Like it was like a 40-second conversation. And I was theorizing when I first heard about it that maybe he went mode one real hardcore, but it wasn't even that. It wasn't, shout out to the late great ARC, but it wasn't even that.
I don't think you could, in that short of a conversation, there's no, I mean, other than like just whipping it out. I mean, what can you really say or do that would, nah, man, that was wielding of Karen power.
Well, yeah, and that's what and this goes back into the bitchocracy that I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Because it's just like that. Because the takeaway for this is to be like, don't talk to them, don't touch them, you know, don't look at them. You know, that is the same as the Jim Crow South. That is the situation that they're talking about, where you're afraid to look at them. You're afraid to look at them in the gym, you know, because because she'll film you and try to humiliate you or something like that. You're afraid to talk to them because she'll say that you said this, and then next thing you know, you're losing money. You know, they're just trying to correct behavior. They want to turn you into that dude. They want to turn. I do not know his name, but he looks just like, y'all know who I'm talking about. That dude that played, yeah, he looks just like him. They want to turn you into that dude. You know, who like the Butler, like Forrest Whitaker on the Butler, they want to turn you into that type of dude. You know, they want to turn all men into that. That's why they go out on their Karen power and stuff like that. And they're using the same tactic. You know, this false grape stuff, that's the same as Emmett Till type crap. You know, it's to put.
No, just that we brought up Emmett Till earlier. I was saying this Well, the Michael Irvin thing. I don't like to compare. I said earlier I don't like to compare everything to Emmett Till because we go too far with that. They was comparing Kyrie Nichols to Emmett Till. Like black folks want to say every little situation is an Emmett Till situation, but it's fucked up all to say. But either way, carry on.
Okay, somebody said you can look at the gym, just don't stare. I do what the fuck I want. I don't stare because I don't want to stare, because I don't want to give them the satisfaction. But understand me this: I have every right to stare. And if you dry humping a weight bar, then I have every right to stare and stroke my. I don't have a beard, but stroke my goatee like, that's interesting. I like her technique. If I so choose to do so. Now I just so happen to not choose to do so. I just so happen to not.
Mm-hmm.
But don't try to control me from being a man.
Yeah.
If I see something I want to see, I do it. Anything I want to see, I have every right to look at. And when I was a kid, my grandparents had a male dog and a female dog, and I watched them fuck. And then the male dog was looking at me like I'm a human. I will look at what the fuck I want to do. Like, what you gonna do? I'm a human. You a dog. I never seen it. You got pink shit coming out. I'm curious. Fuck you.
Yeah, man. You got a point there.
All right, I'm about to.
No, if you do something interesting and I want to see it, I'm gonna watch. That's the point of that story.
That's funny. That's
no, it is ridiculous, and you can feel that tension in the air. It is almost like back to the days where you got to jump off the sidewalk if one of them coming because they're going to turn around and accuse you of something. I've had that, on the job where people just wield any old thing, and say, oh, well, he had something on his computer screen that I didn't like, or something. He was looking at something offensive. How can you deny that? You know what I mean? As a man, you can say, oh, go through my history and my browser. I mean, come on, man. Come on. I mean, but yeah, it's wielding of power. It has nothing to do with, like you said, they're trying to make you that guy. They're trying to make you just subservient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to turn you into how do you pronounce that? Mahershala Ali. They're trying to turn you into Mahershala Ali. That nigga look like.
All right, I'm about to pull up.
Don't talk back to white folk. Like it's baked into his DNA. Look at. I looked at I brought up his picture when somebody said his name in the chat room. He looked like that. That's the way he looked.
All right, I'm about to roll the tape. It's probably the last thing. Don't roll the tape of Eddie Griffin speaking on Andrew Tate. All right, don't give me copyrighted now.
Yeah, he's the kickboxer dude that be talking shit about Andrew Tate.
They took him to jail.
Yeah, he's in jail. Really?
He's a problem.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a problem.
Epstein is worse.
No. I'm not saying. He's a good problem.
Yeah.
I'm with Tate.
Mm-hmm.
Tate's a motherfucking needed voice.
Andrew Tate?
Hold
They took him
on.
to jail.
Yeah, he's in.
He talking to some goddamn feminist ass simps. He said Tate's a problem. His response was Epstein is worse. Like, goddamn.
To even compare, man, that was foul.
He is not. Shout out to Eddie Griffin. He is not going to subject himself to the bitchocracy. So salute to him.
Yeah.
He's saying Andrew Tate is a problem to the bitchocracy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Really?
He's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a problem.
Epstein is worse.
No. I'm not saying. He's a good problem.
Yeah.
I'm with Tate.
Mm-hmm.
Tate's a motherfucking needed voice on this motherfucking everybody be a punk bitch made motherfucker. This motherfucker is masculine to the umpteen power.
Yeah.
Now he's doing a character.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't think he's that fucking crazy, but he's saying some smart shit.
They took him to jail for pimping?
He ain't pimping. These chumped up charges. One of the girls at his house, boyfriend was called while she was with Tate.
Oh.
And he said, Tate them kidnapped her, called the police. They got there, the girl said, it's my boyfriend. He just jealous, So they still took the brothers down to jail. They got out in 45 minutes.
Oh my God. Ain't no
But the media, that's all they needed. Hold on. Now, as Tate said, how was every cameraman already outside? Who tipped them off to film this so-called secret bust? Then how come the entire media is out there?
already?
So this is United States government and the motherfucking internet companies that don't like his voice because it ain't with their program.
He ain't following the status quo.
He ain't following the everybody need to be a punk bitch made motherfucker shut the fuck up program. He loud and boisterous like a man's supposed to be. So that's why they set him up.
Yeah.
You need to listen to Tate. I think you'll enjoy what the fuck he got to say.
Nah, I be hearing him. That's why I was like,
No, I don't think that dude's gonna enjoy what Tate got to say. I don't think he's gonna enjoy it. But that was the first thing I said when the cameras when they was getting arrested, like the camera crew, like they had better cameras. Like if they showed up with like $10,000 cameras to get that clear of a shot of him at night. Like it's hard for a camera to get a clear shot like that at night. Like they had to bring studio, quality lighting. They showed up with Hollywood lighting and cameras to get those shots of somebody getting arrested at night. So yeah.
and then I did my own research and I'm like, who is this motherfucker? Like, because for me, he just came out of nowhere. But then we went to jail and they said, pretty much payment. I was like, come on.
And I knew it didn't sound right, man.
This nigga's a mixed martial artist and quite a savvy businessman.
Yeah.
So what the fuck he got a pimp for?
Yeah, like
He can buy hoes.
it made no sense.
And hoes is after. He a handsome dude, you know what I mean? Yeah, shape. Got millions and millions of dollars, fancy cars, jets, and all this shit. He ain't got to chase shit.
That sounded great. I was like, yo.
So, now that lets you know that it is crazy because the world is after him. The Bill Gates of the world is after him. The Dr. Fauci's is after him. The United States government is after him. The Chinese government don't like him, nigga. There's a bunch of governments in this motherfucker.
All right, GC, what you got down there? You bringing up your boy, the plantation or the Jim Rights? Jim Crow.
Yeah,
dude, that's what you bringing up.
Yeah, that's. I just want everybody to understand what I'm talking about when I say this nigga look like Jim Crow. It looked like his name is Jim Crow. Like, I just want to highlight this. I want to highlight this dude again. That's all. Yeah, that's it. This is the dude. When I talk shit about Jim Crow looking niggas, this is the one I'm talking about more than anything.
Yeah, he played in a movie that I didn't see. They said it was good. It was like it made you think like in the realm of like Driving Miss Daisy, but he wasn't the driver, he was getting driven. But when you looked at it, you thought that he was like in the Morgan Freeman role in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He just has that look about.
Yeah, because he had that look to where you just RM be on everything. It's called The Green Book. But that's what that movie was called. And yeah, he was a successful man. He was riding in the back seat, getting driven around. But when you somehow still thought he was the driver.
Exactly. He was like a gangster in Luke Cage, but he still just looked like
Jim Crow looking.
Yeah, he's still just like a Jim Crow look. And Luke Cage is like modern day Harlem and stuff, but he just still look like Jim Crow.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Good.
Like,
damn. But what's your thoughts on what Eddie Griffin talking about? We got
he's making sense, man. Like a typical brother from New Orleans, he's making sense. He's making good sense. I mean, he's telling the truth. It is a war on masculinity, man. There's a war on masculinity, and the thing is, the only thing that's going to really, because they've been doing this incrementally, right? They've been introducing all of this nonsense into the school system, into the media. They're introducing these ideas insidiously, right, into our minds. So they're not going to let it go, right? This is something they've been building up over many years. They're not going to let it go. Something seriously traumatic is going to have to happen in order for us to return to a state of normalcy, because unfortunately, something drastic, either, alien encounter or alien disclosure or world war, something's going to have to happen that's going to break society down to the point where we get back to the need for a family unit, that women going to understand the need for men to provide protection and provision for them. That's the only thing that's going to return us to a state of normalcy.
I agree.
Yeah. If we continue on the present, technological trajectory, then the foolishness is going to continue. It's going to get worse.
No, there has to be an equal push back against it. It has to be equal force.
Absolutely.
And greater, actually, because you have to undo the doings of the past, and we need people like Eddie Griffin to just, have the boss to come out and say, hey, no, this is some bullshit. Tate is right. And, I'm sticking to it. You got to be on your man shit. You got to put manhood first.
Yeah. Yep. Very true. Very true. Very true. But all right, we're gonna wrap it on up. We wrap it on up right there. We're at the 2-hour mark. So thanks, Devin Lockett, for coming on through. Thanks for coming on through. Thanks for coming up, GC. Thank you, everybody in the building, everybody who supported the stream in any way, shape, or form. Appreciate each and every one of you. Hey, hold on. This looks like an interesting comment on the way out the door. He says KS conveniently went out around Mother's Day. I mean, safe to say we got a fight on our hands. Just saying. Yeah. It's messed up. It's messed up. Kevin Samuels died. Tate locked up. You get too big. Something. It's like you get too big doing this shit. Something gonna happen. It's like damn. But anyway. All right. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone.
Peace out, brother.
Peace.
Thanks for having me on, man.